The conversation surrounding Andor has been overwhelmingly positive, at least as far as I can tell. It is quite obvious that a lot of care and attention to detail went into production, and that is immediately obvious to viewers. The writing is fantastic. The acting is of the highest caliber. The set design and cinematography are mind-blowing. But for others, this show isn't quite hitting the mark. Some can readily articulate which scenes or plot devices are not to their liking, and others can't exactly put into words why they feel a lack of connection with this story. After speaking with many other Star Wars YouTubers and reading hundreds of comments, I think I found a way to summarize this general aversion in 3 words. Andor isn't fun. As much as I love this show, and how few and far between my criticisms of it are, I have to agree with this statement, and I think many of you will as well. First, there is an obvious lack of action in most episodes. They are dialogue-driven. The plot reveals itself as the characters are experiencing it, rather than it unfolding before our eyes. Things aren't happening to our characters. The characters are doing the things and finding out what comes next in a realistic, ordinary way. There absolutely is action in this show, and it wouldn't be nearly as impactful as it is without all the setup and tension building. But in Andor, the action is a situation. It's a plot device rather than the plot itself. It doesn't try to convince people to enjoy it by entertaining them with fancy explosions or crazy hand-to-hand combat sequences. And for that reason, Andor isn't fun. Second, this show is incredibly real. Ulaf's death is about as real as Star Wars has ever gotten to this point. Some may even call it too real. But for a lot of Star Wars fans, they seem to need the fantasy and mysticism that Star Wars provides as a whole. It feels too similar to our current world, and that doesn't provide the escape in the same way that the original trilogy does. There's no grand adventure to set off on. There is politics. There's no hero's journey. There is the Imperial boardroom meetings. There are no massive space battles. There is small talk between senators and bankers. For a lot of people, this is what makes Andor fascinating, and for others, this is simply not interesting. Some of them may even agree with the high quality that the show delivers, or the beauty of locations, or the unbelievable acting displayed on every scene. But despite all that, Andor is simply not fun. May this dash be with you, and I will see you, wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.